How would you describe Gerry in those first few years? Kind of what was the thing that brought you guys together?
Number one, his unbelievable sense of humor.
Right.
He's very, very funny, and he's very bright, and he is very self-deprecating, which I love.
Liz Nicholson Sullivan has been married to Gerry Sullivan for more than 20 years, but she says she loses the man she married more and more every day.
I would say for the first 15 years, we had a great time. We had a wonderful relationship. I saw signs probably the whole time that I was a little bit in denial of, but I would say the last dozen years have been pretty poor.
Sullivan is a former NFL offensive lineman who played 8 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. He started playing football when he was 8 years old and didn't stop until he was in his 30s. He now suffers from dementia and shows all of the signs that come along with a degenerative brain disease called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. You mentioned in the past, dozen or so years, that's when you started to notice those changes. How did those changes manifest themselves?
Unbelievable rage, unprovoked rage. I'm not talking about your usual driver road rage kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about going from 0 to 120, and the eyes change color, they change to black, the fists ball up at the side of his, violent thoughts that he would say to me that he felt towards others.
Right.
That was really frightening.
While former players like Gerry Sullivan are dealing with things like memory loss, constant irritation, and depression, their loved ones are fighting their own battles.
Now it's all out in the open, but for years, so many of us wives would, if we were social with other NFL gals and guys, we would say, oh yeah, my husband's fine. We were all lying to one another because the husbands, when they're at a certain age, don't want others to know that they're maybe there was mental illness or they're depressed or, About 7 years ago, at least to Gerry's little circle of friends, I started slowly saying, is John, does he stay home at night? Does he have trouble sleeping? And it's when I first opened up to them that then the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And then social media is what, a gal formed a NFL Wives Facebook page, a private page.
Yeah.
And that thing opened the floodgates.
Liz Sullivan is one of literally thousands of women who go online to find advice, comfort, and camaraderie from other wives of NFL players.
Finally, I have found you girls that I thought I was going crazy. I thought my husband something was wrong with us, but now I'm hearing that you girls experience it too. There is such comfort in that. I can't even tell you.
Sullivan found that comfort and has given it back.
It's the women in this room and the wives of the NFL players that I am most grateful to.
Becoming an advocate for former NFL players and wives. She in many cases is fighting with the very league that connects her to these families across the country. I'm curious what it's like for you kind of being in this active back and forth with organization that, your husband in large part gave a lot of his life to.
Oh, it's infuriating. The league is worth $14 billion, yet they don't take care of the fellas whose brains and bodies are the reason why they're worth $14 billion.
The NFL purposely, maliciously caused great harm to us, using their tactics of delay, deny, and hope that I put a bullet through my head to end their problem.
Delay, deny, and hope they die. And that is coined by a former Minnesota Viking, Brent Boyd, who's an activist. And he's right. I won't use the word rigged, but cards are stacked against us.
Do you think that the sport itself is worth saving?
I really truly believe that at one point it will be phased out on its own, and I will not be crying about that. It's eroding. And I think that's the way it should go. Personally, as a wife, personally seeing the destruction caused by this, I will not have a cry. I will not shed a tear